Welcome back to First Rounds with Me, the podcast about dating, relationships, love, sex, and everything in between. I'm Steve, aka the other Joe, along with my co-host and First Rounds with Me founder and CEO Joe Feminella. If you're completely new to First Rounds with Me, we're a dating app that cuts out all the small talk and encourages you to actually go on real dates so you can create a real, genuine connection in person rather than trying to through a phone screen. If you haven't downloaded Chrome yet, go to the App Store, create your profile, find yourself a date, fall in love, and make some beautiful babies. If we're not in your city yet, we're working to get there as soon as possible, so hang tight and thanks for your patience. If you're loving the app, please consider leaving us a rating and review on the App Store. We love getting your feedback, and it really helps us grow. If you have a From success story, we'd love to hear all about it and feature you on our social media. Today's guest is Peyton Knight. Peyton is a fashion model hailing from St. Louis and currently living in Los Angeles. At age 11, she was discovered by Elite Model Management while leaving a movie theater with her mother, and 2 years later, she was signed to IMG Models. She now works in social media strategy and development for 1111 Media. Peyton, welcome to the show.
So I have to give you a kudos on that intro.
I'm like, did you get that from my Wikipedia page?
Yes, I did.
I love that.
Yeah,
I knew
yes.
it.
I made some edits while I was in there. So.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
So Hannah saw that you were going to be a guest today, and she was like, "Oh my God, that's amazing! She's a real model." So Hannah was a real model. I was like, "Wait, for you to say someone's a real model?"
Oh, Hannah May?
No, Hannah Glasby.
Hannah
my wife.
Feminella.
Oh, yes.
So-
Okay, I'm sorry. I was just immediately thinking of my friend. Sorry.
When she said that, I was like, "Oh shit! You know, you're not an LA model. You're a legit model." And coming from her, I was like, "Okay, this is great. This is amazing. We have someone with some modeling credibility here."
Yeah, a lot of people in LA say that I'm a model. And I'm like, well, you know, being on OnlyFans does not mean that you are a model. It does mean that you make money looking beautiful, but I'm all there for it. But, you know, there is definitely a very stark difference between a high fashion model and then someone who just is like, I'm a model now.
Yeah. Awesome.
Feel that. All right, I got to ask, what movie do you owe your modeling career to that you were seeing that day?
Oh, God, this definitely ages me a little bit, but I was going
When
to...
people that are 10 years younger than us say that, that really ages the shit out of us.
I know, but like when I think about like TikTok and Instagram and the age of people who are online now, I feel like this dates me a little bit, but it is trending a lot now on social media. I was going to see the premiere of New Moon from the Twilight series.
So it ages you that you're old or that you're young?
Yes. A little bit of both. Like the fact that I was
I don't
there
know what
for
it
the
is.
premiere. I know that so many people like love that movie now and everything and super duper revere, and they love Robert Pattinson, they love Kristen Stewart and everything. But to like have been, I just remember when the books came out, my parents were like super against anything that was sort of witchcrafty fantasy style stuff.
50
so
Shades
I would literally
for kids, basically.
We'll get to that in a minute. But I would read it in the bathroom and like lock the door because I wasn't allowed to read it.
How old are you in this period?
At that time, when I first started reading the books, I was in 5th grade, so I was like 10 years old. Wasn't allowed to read the books. My mom super didn't want to go to this movie, and last minute, like we were literally late to the movie. She didn't even want to go. She was like, "This is stupid. I don't want to go." My dad was out of town. And last minute, she was like, "You know what? Fuck it. Fine. We're going to go. We'll go," and everything. And I'm wearing the most ridiculous 2000s outfit, wearing like a limited 2 brown shirt with a red puffer sleeveless jacket, like a vest, and like awful ugly jeans and like Ugg boots. I am the epitome of like Hillary Duff in the 2000s. And for whatever godforsaken reason, some modeling agency thought I looked great. And they thought I was 13 and I was 11. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm gigantic. Wow. It is what it is.
Well, I feel like that's like the story. First of all, Hillary Duff, friend of the pod.
Love.
She's the best.
Steve's licked her toe.
Maybe, allegedly. Well, I was going to ask you, because I feel like that's like the dream of everyone, right? To be walking down the street and discovered. That's like the cliche, but it really happened to you.
And it's happened multiple times even since then.
Wait, so is 13 the youngest that you can get signed? Because, okay.
You can get signed at any age, but they've definitely gotten stricter over the years, especially with high fashion modeling. When I started and everything, that was sort of the generation of the Gem Awards of the world. And she was, I want to say 13 when she started and blew up and had a huge career from a young age and everything. But when I was about 17, things started to shift, especially with Runway. They shifted it to more of an 18 and up module. Yes, you can still model underage and everything, but the rules have just gotten a lot stricter just to protect children and all of that good jazz, which I'm all there for. I definitely advocate that. Because when I was 17, I definitely was put in some compromising outfits and positions where that wouldn't happen nowadays. But, you know, I was kind of on the pioneering edge of that transition of things happening in the fashion industry, which was kind of cool to be a part of.
Sure.
Super cool. Did you start with IMG?
I started with Elite. Elite scouted me. Then they sort of dropped their development division around the time that I was like 12 or 13. And my agent had always said, like, IMG is the best. IMG is awesome. IMG is God. So my mom was like, well, this is a bummer that you have to like leave this agency that found you. Let's go to IMG. And IMG was like, heck yeah. And within 6 months, I was in this massive spread with Steven Meisel for W Magazine, September issue, which like back in the day, September and February issues, much like Fashion Week, they were the issue to be featured in. That was Bible. And to be in W at 13 years old with the top photographer, we were with like Guido Paolo, Pat McGrath, and everything, like top hair and makeup. Edward Enniful was the stylist. Like now he's the editor-in-chief of Vogue UK or British Vogue. It's just like, that's a dream. That's
awesome.
a dream.
As someone who has no idea about the modeling world, what do they look for when they see you at 11 years old that they're like, holy shit, this is the one?
Tall, slim build. I mean, I was with my mom, and my mom was tall and slim as well. Good looking woman. She's beautiful. My dad is very handsome. He wasn't with me, but they asked my mom, how tall is your husband? How tall are you? To kind of project, well, how tall is this girl going to be? And I was projected to be anywhere from 5'9" to 6 foot. I landed on the shorter side. I'm 5'9", which is still not short, as anybody in LA can tell you. Most men aren't even my height here.
Oh, damn.
I've dated the short kings. It's okay.
Yeah.
Love a good short king.
Yeah.
Now,
We love a short king. Yeah.
Now, is it
short
rare
king.
to be found in St. Louis by IMG or Elite or one of the big model agencies?
So what they had told us is that basically they had done some analytical research into what were the most trafficked movie theaters and concert spaces to go to for girls age 13 to 17, because the younger that you can scout girls or guys, whatever you're looking for, the younger that you can scout them, the better, because then you can do test shoots. You can teach them how to do, their runway walk. You can teach them how to act in front of clients and everything, and basically like groom them, not in a weird way, but groom them to become professionals that when the time comes for them to hit the runway or start going out for major castings for magazines, they're ready.
Yeah.
She's actually our second model from St. Louis on the podcast, Katie Schmid.
Right.
Okay. No, her name is really familiar. I might have met her before. I'm really, really bad with names and faces and people in general.
Sounds good. But yeah, she's another St. Louis model.
Yeah, St. Louis is a hot spot for the models.
It really is. They
Love
put
that.
something in the water. There's like Devin Windsor, Carly Kloss.
But I feel like middle America, you have taller people. I don't know why.
I don't know. We're just big. We eat a lot of pie.
Yeah.
All right. Got to ask this one. Team Jacob, Team Edward at the time, and then have your taste changed over the years?
Yeah. Definitely Team Jacob. Team
Now?
Yeah, even it's a mixture, because I honestly revere Robert Pattinson. I think he's awesome, and I just like him as a person so much, especially after watching Charlie St. Cloud. Loved that movie, and it definitely changed my opinion of him.
Wait, he's in that?
Yeah.
That's Efron, right?
No, oh God, no, that's not what I'm thinking of. What's the 9/11 movie? You're right.
Efron's Charlie St. Cloud, because I
Yes,
love that movie.
Efron's Charlie St. Cloud. What is the one where it's 9/11 and it's his brother and you know what I'm talking about?
451?
No. No. It's the one where he dies at the end of the movie, and it's really
Whoa,
sad.
spoilers. All right, I'm going to look it up so we can figure it out.
Please
But
do,
Wait,
because
what's
it's gonna
Fahrenheit
tell
451?
me.
That's a movie that you and John talked about,
Fahrenheit
right?
451 is like the book that you have to read in high school.
You're thinking of Fahrenheit 9/11 maybe or something? Good Time. No, is that 9/11? When he's got the Safdie brother?
It's the one
Where they rob a bank?
It's you gotta cut the clip of me doing Charlie's.
No, we gotta
What's
keep
it called?
Good Time. If that's the one, it's Good Time. But does that have any?
No,
I don't think that has anything to do with
It's
9/11.
not that. It's the 9/11 movie
Why don't we just
with
look up
Robert
his
Pattinson.
IMDb?
That's a great movie, by the way. Good Time, phenomenal movie. I think that turned a lot of people onto
Highlighter
Robert.
be
Oh,
highlighted.
Remember Me.
Holy shit.
Remember Me?
Remember Me. That's the movie.
Okay.
Remember Me. Literally, I've cried every single time I've watched that movie.
He's a phenomenal actor.
He's such a great actor. I personally found the character of Edward to be creepy. The older I get,
Fair.
He's like sneaking in her window and like watching her. And I'm like, that's slightly terrifying. While a lot of people might enjoy that because they like the attention, I'm not that interested in attention.
I respect that.
Yeah.
I do-
Jacob was so sweet. He just had a good heart and he genuinely like really cared about her. Not saying that Edward didn't.
And that body, though?
That body.
Yeah.
That body bodied. He had
Yes.
2 bodies and they were
Yes.
both great.
I've never. What is this?
Twilight.
Twilight.
Back on Twilight, yeah.
Is that Taylor Lautner?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
And Taylor Lautner's married. Everybody's married now, and it's so disappointing
Yeah.
for me, at least. I'm like, I have a chance. When I was like 13, I was like, I have a chance with all of these people. I don't have a chance anymore.
Why?
They're married.
Yeah, but half
All
of
right.
them. Half of them.
Half of them are married.
Who's your number one celebrity crush?
It changes by the day. Who plays Harvey in Suits? Because that's definitely number one daddy.
Suits.
Harvey
I've never
in
seen
Suits?
Suits. I'll do.
Let me see. I'll do it.
Whoever
Scan.
plays Harvey in Suits is number one daddy for me. It used to be
Daddy.
Leonardo DiCaprio, and that changed drastically after living in New York.
Gabriel Macht.
Oh, yes,
his
Gabriel
name?
Macht. Oh, Gabriel Macht can get it any day, anyway.
51 too. That's good for you.
Any day, anyway, baby.
Wait. So, on that note, with Leo and this guy, how is your relationship with your dad that you want these daddies?
I have a great relationship.
Do
Everybody
you have a
asks
dilf? Do you have a
that.
dilf?
I do. Like, my dad is a very genuinely like good looking man. I can say that as his kid because I'm also good looking and I came from him. So like, you know, it would be like I would be like lying if I said he was unattractive. My dad is a very good looking man. My mom is a very beautiful woman. Like, my dad hasn't aged. If I'm going to be fully honest, I look at pictures of when him and my mom met and everything. And honestly, I can tell more that my mom has aged than my dad, significantly more. Like, not that she looks old. She looks her age, in my opinion, but a lot of people think she looks way younger. But I've known her my whole life, so she is her age in my brain. But my dad has always just been the exact same person. He looks the same. It's crazy.
Who's the guy from Mamma Mia?
Pierce Brosnan.
Pierce Brosnan.
Ugh, love.
Big Tom Secret.
So I did a little Pierce Brosnan search last night. He looks way better now than he did when he was like 50 or 40. Like he's getting a lot better looking with age.
Some dudes really do. I think it just depends. Every white man has a window where they look gorgeous. And sometimes it's in their 30s, sometimes it's in their 40s, sometimes it's in their 60s.
Also,
honestly.
though, Hollywood is a weird place because you can get work done and you can have the best. You know,
For sure.
Yeah, so that can help a lot.
Yeah, access to things like that definitely helps people enhance their beauty. But I'm like, you can only do so much as a man without looking crazy.
For sure. Yeah.
Clooney's figured it out.
Yeah. Clooney, Brad Pitt still looks amazing.
I've never gotten the Clooney thing.
Really?
I've never found him that like fantastically attractive.
Wow.
Who else did you just say?
Brad Pitt.
Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brad Pitt's nice.
Insert a whoosh sound effect or like a. Did you spend more time with your mom growing up?
I mean, my parents are still married.
Okay, I was just
So
wondering.
I spent a lot of time with both of them, but yeah, my mom. So
Maybe
she
you aged
ran
her
a
is what I'm
business.
trying to say.
Oh, thank you.
Just by hanging
yeah,
out
no,
with you
you're
and
not
driving her-
friggin' wrong because she's always been overly involved in my life and has always just like me existing has become her personal tax. Always.
Her curse.
She's always like, it's just like her responsibility constantly. Even now, I'm like, I do something and she's like, oh my God, you did something. And I'm like, I'm an adult. I live alone and I pay my own bills. Why are you that concerned? And she's like, well, you're my daughter. And I'm like, but yeah, you got to reach one point or another where you realize that I'm just a person now.
No,
they won't
with
do
the mom
that.
though. You're always her daughter.
I know.
Do you have siblings?
No, and that makes it worse.
Now, do you confide in her through breakups and relationship stuff?
Sometimes. It just kind of depends on the situation. And I definitely filter out a lot of things where I'm like, okay, maybe she doesn't need to know this. And, you know, when you're in the heat of anger amidst something, then yes, I will like overprescribe her information and be like, well, he also did this and he did that too, because I want her to be on my side. But that becomes treacherous. Everybody needs to know this. That becomes treacherous when then you try to get back together with that person.
Yep.
So I always play the cautious game until I'm sure it's freaking over.
Mm-hmm. Then you stomp on his grave.
Then I'm like, oh, do you remember the time that he yelled at me in the valet? Well, guess what? He drove me home drunk. Like, yeah.
Ooh. Now, has your ex met your parents?
Yeah.
And what do they think of him?
He's
both
a shitbag.
Both while you're with him and after, the same?
It was a progression. So when they first met him, they loved him. They thought he was awesome and everything. And I genuinely think he just let his pants ride a little bit lower like metaphorically, a little bit lower every single time that he was around them. He was super involved. And like, granted, I have a child as well. So she was also involved.
I didn't know this.
Oh, you didn't?
No.
Oh, shoot.
I actually saw something on Instagram that it was you and your mom, and it said 2 moms, and I didn't want to assume anything or dig deep into it.
Oh, no, I have a 2.5-year-old.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So
Amazing.
She's involved, and she was involved a lot in that, in that relationship as well, in a way, because she was around and my parents would come and visit us in LA. We would go and visit my parents in the desert. They live like 2 hours from here.
Nice.
And they became very involved. And we also took trips with my daughter to NorCal to visit his best friends and everything. And it just felt like the longer that the relationship waned on, the less he really cared about how he was visualized in their eyes, which was kind of disappointing in my eyes. But I remember this one time he had said that he wanted to take my parents to this really nice steakhouse. And usually when you say that you're going to take someone there, that means that you're going to like provide and pay for the experience, at least in my brain.
Yeah,
like,
I think anyone with a brain.
Right. I want to take your parents to this place. And my dad is a teacher and my mom is retired now.
So I'm sure it was a nice place.
So they're not, yeah, it was extremely nice. And my ex would only go to very, very fancy places and stuff. And my parents can't necessarily afford that, nor can I.
Right.
At the time, I was not making very much money at all. I was making dog crap money, honestly. And
eating pickles to survive.
Did you read that somewhere?
No,
I know you did.
Maybe. I don't know.
Oh, fuck. You read that somewhere. I know maybe it was my diary. Holy shit. I definitely wrote about that the other day. It gets juicy around,
yeah. Around age 21, it gets really juicy.
Oh, no. Okay. Well, anyway, so then during this dinner, he proceeds to drink like 3 to 5 martinis. My parents are not drinking because they're assuming at one point like they just don't like to also overstep.
Sounds like, I know where this is going, but this sounds like the worst thing ever.
The worst experience. And mind you, I had just gotten back in town to LA. I had been gone for like 3 or 4 days. I was visiting them like 2 hours away. Like no big deal. It's not like I was gone for a month in like Kuwait or anything. Like I wasn't gone off somewhere. Kuwait or where my parents live?
Kuwait.
I genuinely, my best friend looked it up the other day, and apparently it's in the Middle East, and I didn't know that.
It's below Saudi Arabia. Or no, it might not.
It's
be.
over there.
I don't know what I'm talking about.
And so I had just gotten back that day, and that evening after dinner, I was supposed to go to my best friend's birthday party, and he knew that too. but I'd gone back and everything, and he had like fucking 5 martinis or some shit. And my parents don't really drink very much, like at all. If anything, they'll have like a glass of wine or a Manhattan. They don't really drink. And, you know, I try to like mind that as well. I don't really drink around them either. I think I had like 1, maybe 2 drinks. But he was friggin' slamming the martinis. And when I say martini, I mean straight up shaken gin.
So he's pretty much getting drunk by himself.
He's getting drunk by himself at dinner with my parents, which is absurd. So I don't even remember where my daughter was at this point. I can't remember if she was with us or if we had a babysitter that night. I can't remember what exactly the foreplay was on that. But by the end of it, I had said, like, I'm going to my best friend's birthday party and my parents are leaving. I think that he had gotten them like a hotel room or something. But he made them split the bill with him.
I mean, how did that work? When the bill came, was it big surprise or did your parents see it coming?
I think it was a mixture of both. I think that they had assumed that since he had said, I'm going to take you to this place, that he was taking care of it, or at least he had some connection to get a discount of some form. And that was just not the case. He dead ass straight face split the bill with them.
When the bill came, how did that interaction go? Like,
I ended up paying for it.
But did he take the bill and put it in the middle and say, like, all right, let's split it? Or
it was pretty much like that. He was like, okay, well, I'm gonna pay for half of this, and then, you know, you guys pay, which was ridiculous because martinis are like $22 and he had like 5 of them and my parents weren't even drinking and they were also very mindful with what they were eating too and they split stuff.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Like they were being really scrupulous and nice anyway. And he literally bought like the most expensive steak.
Shrimp.
He wanted to get appetizers for everyone, which they normally wouldn't do. They would just split a few things, dessert, 5 drinks just as one person.
To-go food.
And I was just like, oh my God. And my parents and I had a conversation after the fact and I was like, no, that's 100%. He said he was taking you there.
So they were surprised.
We were both under the
impression.
impression.
I'm saying they were talking to you about it after the fact.
They were surprised. Of course, they didn't act like it was anything. They just put down the card and whatever. But I was like, no, you don't need to be doing that. So I paid for their portion. I was like, I just zelled them the money. I was like, you don't deserve. He said that he was going to take you there. What the hell? But it gets worse, if you could only imagine.
This night gets worse, or this journey gets worse?
The night gets worse.
Okay, so now that happens.
So this happens. He splits the bill with them, which is like the grossest thing I can possibly think of. It's like a first date gone terribly wrong. And so I'm like, okay, God, that's not hot. But I'm acting like I don't see what's going on because ignorance is bliss. And then after the fact, so my mom and I go down to the valet to get the cars and everything like that. And he's like drunk at this point, like pretty drunk. Like,
5 martinis.
Like you can kind of tell. Like
I'm a 2 martini kind of guy, so 5 martinis.
Oh my God, I'm like 1.5. I'm cooked.
Yeah, for sure.
Man's got like 5 in him and everything. And then I'm like, I'm still down to like go to my friend's birthday party and everything. And then he yells at me in the middle of the valet in front of
your mom.
In front of my fucking mom.
No. Time out. Before we continue this story, I know that you're not with me anymore.
Now's the time to break for our sponsors. This is sponsored by Tampax.
How much longer after this interaction were you guys together?
Far too effing long. I should have known that.
Time out.
My mom has hated him since this moment.
This is like deal breakers and red flags 101. And I'm not even a red flag kind of guy.
I know.
Wow.
Literally, no. He had significant red flags up into the way that he wore his shirts too small. Like, I should have known that. I should have been like, damn, you are not self-aware.
But also, I feel like when you have a kid involved, right? From the woman's standpoint, it's you kind of have to speed the process up with finding out if that person's in it for the long haul or not, right? Because as your child, learns about this new person in your life, they get attached, right? So it's like you can't keep going through guys, you know, for fun or like casually if you have a daughter.
I don't, especially like I don't introduce her to anyone. But this became very serious very quickly. But I think my first major red flag should have been that after the first date, he asked me to move in with him after 3 days.
Whoa.
And I just went for it.
You did?
I was trying to consolidate that money, baby.
Wow.
Well, to be fair, there is so much context that has to be given. So he got me fresh out the doors of another relationship where I was living with my ex and everything. Okay. I had been subleasing this place. My ex roommate was horrific. Like, we had been really good friends, but she was a horrible roommate. Like, salmon out on the counter for 48 hours, like that kind of roommate that you just never want ever. Like bong rips at 8 a.m. kind of girl. No, she didn't even wake up that early. That's giving her too much credit. Bong rips at 11 in the morning when you have a normal person job and coming home to a shithole. Couldn't do it. And so I had been dating this guy very briefly, but I was like, I can't live where I'm living right now. Can I just come and stay with you? And so I did. And I dated my ex for like a couple of months and stuff. And I lived with him and everything. And then after that, I was like, well, I don't have this subleasing option anymore. Like, this was my agent's place and he's back in the country. So I don't have this option anymore. And so I left my ex and I was staying at this hotel, which my most recent ex was running. Mm-hmm. And I had asked him, I was like, hey, can I do some sort of brand partnership, which I had done before with that hotel with him? Can I do some sort of brand partnership? I can even help you guys with social media development and brand awareness. You know, like what I do.
For sure. And which you're very good at, which I'm sure makes up for that cost.
He said, yes, of course. And then like 2 days into my breakup, he's like attached to me.
Why do you think he got attached? Like,
I think he saw like a wounded deer.
That's what I was gonna say. Like, do you think he saw like this pretty young model who, you know, was wounded and was like,
I think
"This
is
my opportunity"?
Wounded deer.
Okay.
He was like, "Wounded deer. I'm gonna take care of that." And like, granted, I just fed off of the attention. I'm one of those people who I will instigate things, but not in a serious manner. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, I'm still hungry. I want to go to dinner. Like, he had been hitting me up so much. So I was like, I want to go to dinner. Take me to dinner and everything. Next thing you know, like, he's like, come to my friend's child's 5th birthday party. And I'm like, that seems legit. And he's like, well, I can't be seen with you at the property. That's compromising for me. So you either move in with me or you move out. And I'm like, well, whoa. I wasn't even sure that I even wanted to be in a relationship with you, homeboy. But I guess now you've gaslit me into this point where I think I really like you and I need to convince myself a little bit further. And I was I just remember like the day after our first date, I was like, I'm uncomfortable a little bit. Like, he seems really, really into me and that's great, but I'm going to have to like develop this attraction.
Well, so Steve and I, when we talk to people on the podcast, one thing we always say is like the most important thing when you are looking for a relationship or you want to be in a relationship is kind of being okay on your own first, right? Like, once you're okay on your own and you don't need somebody else, that's when you're like the healthiest to be in a position to be in a relationship.
Right. And I wasn't. I was literally fresh out of a relationship. Bleeding and I just genuinely wanted the attention, the validation from someone who treated me really well. And that's not to discount our relationship because honestly, we dated for a significant amount of time. And I genuinely had feelings for him. I genuinely loved him. And I thought he was wonderful. I thought he was such an incredible individual. I cannot say that enough. Like, while there are so many things that went wrong in our relationship, mm-hmm. there are so many things that taught me how relationships should be. And I wasn't used to that. And so at the end of the day, it was a relationship that I wasn't ready for, but it was a relationship that helped me build standards for one, and also just realize what it feels like to be appreciated by someone who can also help you professionally develop yourself and who genuinely cares about you.
Yeah.
Like, he genuinely cared about me, and I will never, ever neglect that. Like, he cared about me a lot. He cared about where I was as a business person, as someone with a career. He definitely helped me professionally develop myself and put myself in the right corners and just strategically speak with people. And so he helped me in a number of ways. I cannot deny that whatsoever. Like, was it a relationship I was ready to be in? No. But that relationship, I'm actually like very extremely grateful for.
Yeah, and I think one thing I always say is that's why every relationship or every encounter you have with somebody else is worth it, because you either learn what you do or what you don't want, right? So in this situation, you learn things that you do like and you learn things that you don't like. And then going forward, you kind of formulate that into the best possible person, and your expectations get higher and higher until the time when you meet somebody, you know exactly what makes you happy and how you want to be treated. So I think every encounter is important, and you can't go into an encounter thinking this is going to be the love of my life or this is going to be amazing. Just go in and learn that something is going to come out of this, and I have to make the most of it.
No, 100%. And I've like, so more recently, I've been on like dating apps and whatever. I'm done doing that. I hate it. I want to like fucking stab my eyes out doing it. Because it's just, it's either they're way too into me, or I feel like it goes well and then they say it goes well and then they unmatch me and it's just like a whole scene. I don't know. I just don't find it that enthralling anymore. Like the chase and the interest. I'm also just way too engrossed in my job. I love my job. I love what I do so much that it makes people seem insignificant. Like, I have so much to say. There's so
Do you want to touch more on like the dating app aspect of it?
Well, I did want to ask, you say you don't like if a guy is too into you?
Yeah, I
is
hate
that. Is
it's
that
not hot?
Like early on or the whole time? Like
All
if you guys...
of it.
Okay.
All of it.
Okay.
I mean, there's like...
Does it bring the guy's status down? No matter like how high status he seems, no matter how attractive he is, no matter how many good things he has going for him, if he's too into you, does it
brings it down for me personally, just because I'm socially anxious for one. So when someone seems super obsessed with me or over the top or even like willing to compromise themselves for me, I'm immediately like, you're fucking walk over the fucking mat trash. You are. Like, you are a doormat. You are welcoming me to take a shit on your mat. There we go. Okay.
I thought you were going to clean that up a little bit, but that's great. That's fantastic.
She went harder.
A dump on a dump
and maybe,
seemed fucking clunky.
Yeah, maybe
but
light it on fire.
On your mat and light it up with some gasoline. Yeah, that's what it's asking for. Okay, everybody needs to see my shoes, by the way.
Don't let PETA see those. Okay. We've been attacked by PETA before.
They're not PETA worthy. I'm just saying they're cute.
I wore a mink coat like 3 episodes ago. And PETA,
okay, that's
PETA is
very
still...
different than my cow patterned boots.
All right.
We don't need to include it necessarily if you're very scared of PETA.
No, we can.
Fucking animal people.
Joe, so what were you saying about dating?
So like what?
So you want a guy that treats you like shit and doesn't have time for you. And
all right,
rolls you around on that filthy doormat.
Let's not talk about literally the past 3 weeks of my life.
Okay, well we will. We'll get there.
We can get there.
Yeah, we'll get there.
But
there's rappers involved.
Okay. Are you a video vixen?
I'm a what? Who?
A video vixen?
I don't even know what that means.
All right, we'll get back to that.
All right, sweet.
Getting back to the dating app aspect of it, the actual process in itself, right? What don't you like about the whole way it works and operates?
It's not so much like, it's just, okay, let me get to a point where I can like start.
But go with what you actually feel, because it does benefit us in the way that we approach the whole
100%.
scene.
So like, basically I feel like I love dating apps because first of all, I find them so fucking entertaining. The shit that people choose to say about themselves is bar none the most entertaining field of my life.
Can you give us an example?
Oh, yeah. When someone said, I'm looking for someone who, that was the prompt, has awesome nunchuck skills or is hot. Like, I fucking live for that shit. I live for the screenshots. If I can literally like show you and read you some of the stuff that I literally have on my phone. Like, it's just so fucking entertaining. Like, I just survive and thrive on this stuff.
Are there any things like that you've found attractive that actually work to like get you interested?
No.
Nothing.
No prompt.
Because they're like fucking garbage individuals. Like, genuinely, I'm like, there are maybe like 0.05% of people who I found on there who I actually, even more than that, because I genuinely I want to bring it off the app immediately, which I know is what you guys focus on a lot. Like, just bring it off the app. Let's see how we vibe. And I'm very much so that type of person. I don't like this pedantic back and forth bullshit. I think it's stupid. I think it's a waste of everybody's time. Quite frankly, I work in social media. I don't want to have to look at my phone anymore.
Facts.
Love that.
I want to schedule a date immediately. If I'm thinking about you, probably want to do it that day or the next day. Otherwise, I'm going to get bored and I don't really care anymore. It's like a TikTok trend.
Yeah.
Men are like TikTok trends to me. I'm like, I'm bored. I'm not really that interested anymore. And honestly, most people are mediocre looking.
So now how do you handle that? Do you have to go on a date with somebody that you're super attracted to? Or
No.
can you sometimes give...
No, I don't, because I look at my exes and I have to rate it. I'm like, oh, I look at the people I've dated, and they're not always the most attractive people. So I oftentimes will give people a chance, especially if they seem entertaining over text message and whatever. I give people chances. I'm like, I don't even care if you look like a goddamn foot. If you've got some funny shit to say, I might like you. I don't know.
So
you
back
got a
to
foot fetish. That's what it comes down
All
to.
right, here we go.
So back to Steve's point about what would it take for someone to pique your interest on an app for you to then say, you know what, I want you to meet me, right away.
I want them to be funny. I want them to like genuinely not look like a serial killer. But even if they do, like
Joe Goldberg's kind of hot though. Yeah.
Dahmer
So
was
some
kind of sexy
Dahmer
too.
sexy, yeah.
Fuck.
Ted Bundy's a fucking.
Oh, Bundy
Yeah.
was.
Especially
okay.
Efron as Bundy.
I know. That's what
I
I
would
was
let him-
saying,
I would,
man.
on a Netflix movie, I would let him fuck me up.
Same.
So here's a question though. You
I'd
said
be like, splice me in half, homeboy.
yes,
Like, fucking go for
yes. You said 0.5%, and it's just a rough figure.
it. It was
on
like, yeah, it's
dating
probably
apps.
bigger than
But when you
that.
walk around the streets during the day, what percentage of people would you say you're like attracted to?
I don't know.
Is it like the same
firemen.
ratio?
What's the deal with firemen? Why?
No, literally. No, I have to say this one story because this gives me a hell of a lot of validity for whatever godforsaken reason. So I was walking my dog to my local corner store, the Vista Mart, and I was walking there and stuff, and I saw that they were having a kerfuffle with some firemen and stuff. Like, the firemen were there, and I was like, oh, well, it's not going to stop me from getting my Four Loko. So I keep going and everything, and I go inside, and they're still kerfuffling outside with all like, me. And I'm like, whatever, I'm going to go inside. So I go inside, I grab my shit, and I'm walking out and everything, and the firemen are like pulling away at this point. And they're like looking outside of me out the window and whatever, but I'm nearsighted, so I can't really see shit. And I'm like, I don't really know what's going on. And I'm on the phone with my girlfriend, Elsa. And I'm like, meh, I think these men are looking at me, but I can't see. So that's an issue. And it's like a cross point. What's it called?
An intersection?
Thank you. We love a good cross point, an intersection. And so I'm trying to cross the street this way, and they're basically going in the same direction, but they're trying to make a left into the intersection and stuff. And they're looking at me, and then they start waving, and I'm like, oh, okay. So they're looking at me. Next thing you know, they put the fucking sirens on.
Oh, shit.
And I was like, shit, this shit's for real.
That's when you know you're hot, when the firefighters put the sirens on.
They put the sirens on, and I was like, girl, I really got it. It really just be like that. All up in the fucking cross point.
Yeah. Did you slide up down their pole or?
No, I was just so entertained by someone finding me attractive enough to put sirens on.
That is not, yeah.
So
you didn't see their hose.
I hot girl strutted all the way home. I didn't want to get disappointed by the size of their hose.
So I wanted to ask you, being a model, right? And kind of what Hannah tells me, do you kind of feel insecure at times because your whole life you're just judged, but overjudged in a sense where people are dissecting you for shoots and for runway stuff? So you saying like you felt happy that someone just thought that you were attractive, which, you know, is kind of obvious. Did you ever feel that way?
When someone puts a siren on for you,
that's just different level.
Situation.
Okay.
Like, I'm aware when I'm attractive. I don't always feel attractive, so it does feel nice when I don't feel attractive when someone does then validate my existence for whatever godforsaken reason. But if I'm going to be completely honest, like, I'm emotionally and mentally like up and down constantly. So sometimes I'm like, I look like a dirty, crusty little Dutch boy. And then other times I'm like, God's green earth has never seen someone more beautiful.
Okay.
And that just happens. Like, I think that's normal for people in general. I think people are like, wow, I look like a foot. And then the next day they're like, I should be on the cover of Vogue. Like, I genuinely think that that's how people do feel, like, based on your energy, your emotions and everything, how you physically feel when you look at yourself in the mirror. I think some people just like look at themselves and they're like, damn, I look like a foot today.
No, I agree.
I feel that all the time. I'm like, damn, Shorty would be looking like a thumb. Maybe those comments weren't wrong. Like,
you catch yourself in the Target checkout camera and you're like, you were the ugliest motherfucker.
I hate that. I want to die every single time. But also, I feel like it's like a sexy jail photo. And I'm like,
Target has a camera?
Self-checkout.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You don't check yourself out in the self-checkout?
Bristol Farms just added self-checkout last week. That's where I go for my groceries.
Well, no, which location? Because they've been having self-checkout.
No.
Yeah.
Not on Doheny and Beverly. They just added it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Different location then.
But Target is not a competitor
I got
to
a
Bristol
fucking
Farms.
leaf in my head. This feels.
I did
like
notice
Zach
that a couple minutes ago.
Galifianakis all of a sudden.
Do you need to move it?
I'm gonna just move myself.
Okay.
Hello.
Okay.
Welcome to my. I need to shorten this arm. How do I shorten the arm?
I'll slide this out a little bit.
Well, we are in the wilderness, so it looks.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Is it me you're looking for?
Let's get to a couple questions.
Oh shit, yeah.
So we went through a bad date with your parents.
Yeah.
Do you have any really bad date stories outside of that? Maybe your absolute worst. How low does it go for you?
It goes so low.
Give us the lowest.
Can you give us a recent low?
Something that made you question your entire existence, maybe.
Okay, well, I'm going to tell you what I told Vogue.
Nice humble
honored.
brag.
Because, no, just because I can't really think of anything that significant. Wait, just give me maybe a minute, actually.
Take your time.
Let me resonate on this shit.
Marinate.
Just give me a minute. I need to think about this one. Because I have been thinking, and I had an idea. Where did that accent come from?
All right, while you're thinking, is it possible that we are going to get a return to your blonde era?
Yes.
Because the people are asking.
I honestly am manic as hell. I've currently been so fucking manic. I got tattoos. The other day, I just decided it would be a good idea to walk down Sunset Boulevard drinking tequila to a tattoo shop.
Nice.
And then got a tattoo, which,
of?
if you didn't know, was not removable.
What we get?
We got butterflies. Like,
oh, it's nice.
Nice.
It's beautiful. No, it looks hella good.
That's gorgeous.
My mom disowned me over that shit, though.
Oh shit.
We don't even talk about that.
Any meaning behind it?
I like butterflies.
Now.
No, I'm kidding. There's a whole ass actually real meaning. If anybody wants to know, past, present, and future, it's me, my daughter, and my grandma. Fuck my mom, apparently. I only got 3. So, like,
so why can't it be?
I didn't get enough goddamn butterflies.
But why can't it be?
I need to get another one.
Why can't it be you, your daughter, and your mom?
You're right. Fuck my grandma.
Yeah, fuck grandma.
I didn't like her. She's dead anyway. Oh my God. Peyton, stop. This is on broadcast.
It's live. We're live, by the way.
Fuck!
Also, I do want to know, are you ever going to bring back this hairstyle?
Fuck you and your mom.
We'll put the...
Fuck you and your mom.
We'll splice this into the video.
Don't even... I'm going to kill... Have you watched that interview?
Yeah, it's weird.
Shut
What's the interview?
Up, you
Give me context. Give me context.
It's only like a minute long, but you're...
No, that's crazy. No, literally, I can literally quote myself from that exact interview.
You look 7 in the vignette.
Do you watch Stranger Things?
I want to kill you now. I wanted to kill myself then.
What's the context behind that?
Death.
Give me something real. What's the context behind that?
The context was that I was backstage for a fashion show, and I had basically been scalped by this wonderful hairstylist. He decided that this was the haircut, so he cut my hair drastically. Shut the fuck up.
It does honestly. It doesn't look that bad.
No, everybody, shut the fuck up so my mic can pick it up. So basically, my first Fashion Week season, he had cut my hair semi-drastically. Like, he had cut it short, had cut bangs and everything, and that was supposed to be like, wow.
Did you use a machete?
My second Fashion Week, he goes, how'd that work out for you? Like in like a pedantic, like sort of fucking like way, you know, like just being like, how'd that work out for you, bitch? And I was like, actually, I crushed it. I mean, like $500,000. Thank you for this haircut. He was like, well, I don't like that answer. So he fucking mulleted me and made me look like that.
So he was out to get you.
He literally was.
Holy shit.
He had asked me in like a very conniving way. He was like, how'd that work out for you? And I was like,
what'd you do to him?
I fucking crushed it.
What did you do to this guy?
I don't know, but he should be scalped himself. No, Peyton, no.
So you wouldn't.
He should have a mullet himself.
It looks bad, but it doesn't look that bad. Like if you, I don't know. Joe, like if you're going down runway in that.
Okay. No offense, Peyton.
If you didn't lose hundreds of thousands of dollars, you
fair.
can understand how maybe like, oh,
can you sue him for it?
What?
Can you sue him for it?
No, because he's creative.
Yeah, no offense. It's the worst haircut I've ever seen in my life.
Thank you.
Yes. I'm not going to bullshit you.
I don't even want you to.
Yeah.
I'm aware. I cried myself to sleep for weeks. I still fucking booked shit, and I was pissed about it.
All right. Have you thought about that worst date? Anything pop up? Or maybe the one you told Vogue?
I'm going to tell you the one that I told Vogue.
That's
honestly.
fine. We haven't heard it yet.
It needs a refreshing spin on it.
Vogue.
So, back in the day, back in 2015, I was a supermodel. Well, no. But in 2016, I started dating this man who was a supermodel man. And is that when we started dating? I don't fucking know. Anyway, 2017 rolls around. It's like the beginning year. We've been dating. We've been seeing each other. We've been dating. We've been dating for a while. It's February Fashion Week of 2017. It's the Philip Plein show.
Shit.
It's at New York Public Library. And we're going to the after party and everything.
Where's that?
New York Public Library.
No, where's the after party?
New York Public Library.
Oh, shit.
That's why I keep doing this thing.
Damn.
Yeah, so.
You got to whisper in there.
It's at New York Public Library. So it's at the New York Public Library. And I, at this point in my goddamn life, I don't really have that many friends because my ex kind of isolated me from a lot of people. So I go to this after party at the New York Public Library with my ex and his friends and everything. And within 5 minutes of getting in, I lose them all.
Okay.
Can't find them. And I have literally the world's worst social anxiety. I can't deal with large crowds, especially with people I don't know. I started freaking out, and I was like, Peyton, don't have a panic attack. We're not going to do that. So I find one of my really good guy friends who's also a model and stuff, and he is there, and I find some other people, and some girls are doing things that I wouldn't do. So I ditched them very quickly. I was like, ooh, you guys are doing things I don't want to do. So enjoy that.
They were reading, right?
They were reading, yeah. And reading's not hot. No, reading is very hot.
Reading is hot. It is.
Reading is hot. The type of reading they were doing, I didn't enjoy. So I didn't engulf myself in that type of reading. And I ended up hanging out with my one really good guy friend and a couple of our other friends and stuff. But my ex was super insecure about my one really good guy friend. He was like, oh,
he's a model.
He's a model. Like, you must be in love with him. I was like, no. Like, I had a crush on him when I was like 16, sure. But it never formulated anything. He had a serious girlfriend as well. And like, we just became really good friends. And that's what it was. And I'm like, you guys ditched me at the end of the day. You guys ditched me in this massive party knowing how socially anxious I am.
So you didn't see them for a while, the whole party?
The whole party. 5 minutes into the party, they all ditched me. I couldn't find them. And New York Public Library, I don't know if you've ever been there.
Huge.
Shit's big.
Huge. Many floors.
Shit's so fucking big. Mm-hmm. And there's bumper cars and shit. Mm-hmm. I was like, okay, I shouldn't be here anymore. And but I like found my friend and everything, and I found other guy friends of mine. And he didn't like that and whatever. So fast forward. Anyway, next day, that was on February 13th. Ooh. For context.
Okay.
Whoa.
Damn.
So that was on February 13th. The next day, I had always said, like, you know, Valentine's Day is not a really big deal to me. It's not. It's not. Like, I don't need you to, like, propose, give me diamonds, like, shower me in Venus Fleur, whatever the shit their names are. Venus et Fleur. What, the roses that never die. Yeah. I don't need all of that. I didn't need a shower of affection for Valentine's Day. And I told him, I was like, you know what, Valentine's Day, you know, it's a holiday. It's not super important to me. Mm-hmm. But I had assumed that by saying it's not super important, by me saying that it wasn't super important, I figured, like, at least, you know,
maybe
some
card.
Flowers, a card,
piece of chocolate,
a
Hershey's bar, something.
Literally all of these things I thought would maybe be valid. Nothing. And 7 p.m. rolls around, and then I just started crying. And I was like, fuck this. I'm like crying. And he's like, what the fuck are you crying about? And I'm like, I just figured you'd do something. Like, at least something. I know that I said it wasn't really a big deal. But when I say it's not a big deal, that doesn't mean you don't do nothing. Like, you don't do nothing.
That's a double negative.
Okay. You do something. You do something. You don't do nothing. And so I was just sort of like, I don't know, like 7 o'clock at night, like you didn't even just plan for us to go to dinner or anything?
I'm picturing you guys in a nice loft in Soho. There's a nice Italian restaurant downstairs.
No, Lower East Side. So I was
Chinese food.
Okay. He's like, fine, we'll go to dinner.
Wow.
And he's spicy about it. And I'm like, okay, cool. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to be hopeful. And we go to this place in the Lower East Side. It's a vegan restaurant. At the time, I was so keen about it. And I was like, oh, cool. Yeah, we're going to go to this place and stuff. And then I'm like, why are you acting weird? Like, I literally asked him, I was like, why are you acting so weird? He goes, like, it's all about me hanging out with this guy at this party and everything. And I'm like, you guys ditched me. And then he eventually makes me cry. because he is like degrading me, making me feel awful about myself for hanging out with my friend, even though they ditched me at the party. He's making me feel awful about myself. And so I ended up crying. We ordered food. Doesn't come at all. 45 minutes later, we still don't have food. I'm like, we need to go home. I can't deal with this shit no more. Like, I genuinely couldn't deal with it. I was like, I'm emotionally drawn. Food never came. We walked home on opposite sides of the street.
And broke up.
Nope.
Damn.
No, we still didn't break up, which is the most unfortunate part. Do you want to hear how we broke up?
Yeah.
Yeah, please.
Ooh.
How long after this was the breakup?
Like 3 or 4 months.
Wow.
Right?
Let's hear it.
ASMR. I feel like you guys are going to have a really nice feature with me.
We are.
I know. That's hot.
You know what? Yeah, do we have a good part? Is the breakup good, or should we move on to something else? Like the actual breakup
Which breakup?
of the person we're talking about right now.
Oh, we got a good breakup story. Okay, so basically what happened is we were supposed to go to Australia together. Boom, binding agreement. Going to Australia together for work didn't happen. I ended up going to Australia. He was going to come a week later. I go to Australia. I'm like, shit, there's a fucking group holiday going on down here. They have a holiday down here that I didn't know about. We're holidaying it up. Not that that made me slut it up. It didn't. Don't look at me any type of silly ass way. We were vibing. Nothing slutty or silly happened. This man, I all of a sudden, so he had said, like, let me tell some of my friends to introduce you to some other friends. And so they did. They were like, let me introduce you to some friends who are down under and you guys can do things together. So I ended up meeting up with this girl named Ella. So we go on this little shopping spree together. During said shopping spree, my ex texts me. It's 2 a.m. in New York, by the way. Just to give context to this. He goes, you're cheating on me. That was the plain text. You're cheating on me. And I'm like, I'm in the middle of a shopping spree in Australia. And I'm like, what am I doing? Like, what do you mean? And I was like, excuse me, what? And he goes, no, you're cheating on me. And I was like, what the fuck does that fucking mean? I'm literally down here waiting for your stupid ass, white ass.
Bitch ass.
Yeah, that bitch, the fuck. All the asses, all the different variations of the asses. They were down
hairy
there.
Ass.
I'm
Stink
waiting.
ass.
Stink, hairy, booty ass. Like, literally, I'm sitting down here waiting for your ass. That looks so tan. Sorry.
You do.
So I'm waiting for this individual to join me on our Australian trek. And he's just like accusing me of shit left and right. And I'm like, this is off-putting. So I'm done with you. Out of nowhere. And I'm on a shopping spree with one of my girlfriend's best friends who has never met me before.
Ella.
Ella and I have never met. And I go, girl, I'm so sorry. I don't know why this is happening during this time when we're just now meeting. Shout out, Ella. I love you, Ella.
What's up, Ella?
Did she help you?
She was so sweet. She was so chill with it and everything. I was like, I don't know what's going on, but I think my boyfriend's breaking up with me. And we were just, I was already done. If we're going to be quite frank with it, I have a funny story about that one, man, too. So I saw the girlfriends he dated before me. I did. I genuinely did. I saw what they looked like and stuff. And then I saw what they looked like after me. Why do they all look like me?
Oh, shit.
Wow.
No, before me, they were like
a little
all
Dutch,
sort of
little Dutch boy.
random. And you said they all look like a little Dutch boy? Fuck you, bitch. Fuck you. No, they had some white ass, blue ass eyes and literally the exact same hair color as me. Like, he literally dated my best friend after he dated me.
No.
I'm
no
dead
way.
serious.
Former best friend or still
And
best
she
friend?
hid it from me for a while.
Whoa.
Did that end the friendship?
Well, we weren't as close as we were during this weird. It was just like a weird. We were fine. I really was not. She came to me about it, which that to me was like the realest honesty that anybody could do. Like, I didn't really care once she came to me and was honest about it, but I saw her like lose the life in herself while she was dating him. And that killed it for me. I was like, I can't be here and support you as a friend while you're withering away. Like, I've been trying to be there for you as a friend so much, and just watching you withering away is like not it.
Yeah.
But anyway, back to happy, positive. We have so much more things to talk about.
Why don't you do some rapid fire?
Yeah, I was gonna say I think it's time for our speed dating rapid fire hot seat interrogation presented by Margaritas from Gracias Madre. Thank you, Gracias Madre.
Thank you.
Gracias. So this is Peyton's drink of choice is a margarita from Gracias Madre. So we're just gonna hit you with some rapid fire. So just hit us with whatever's on your mind.
Okay.
What is the best thing that happened to you today?
Ooh, I got to actually go to Chateau Marmont to film my CEO, which was really fun.
Nice. That sounds
Can we
fun.
say shout out to who it is? It's okay.
What's the best compliment you've ever received?
You're beautiful inside and out.
Oh, who said that?
Someone.
Nice. What is your favorite date spot?
My favorite date spot definitely has to be Desert 5 spot. I love a good rooftop, and I love a good country bar.
Okay. Favorite romantic comedy?
50 First Dates.
Nice.
Very nice.
Last movie that made you cry?
Oh, fuck.
Or a movie that made you cry?
One of them. I don't know. Commercials make me cry. What did I say? Oh,
Did you cry during Twilight at all?
no.
Titanic?
I've seen so many movies.
Everyone cried during Titanic.
The one with the one the one Marvel movie where the bitch melted to the ground. Where Wanda got collapsed onto with all of the bricks and stuff, and she goes, I know, I made this mess.
Was that
Was that Mr. No, it was Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange made me cry.
Okay.
Doctor Strange made me cry.
All right. Most played song on your Spotify?
How do I find that out?
A song you
Can
play.
I just like...
You can tell us a song you like a lot.
I still need to look it up.
Okay. Well, what's your go-to karaoke song?
Oh, Grills by Nelly.
St. Louis.
Duh.
If you could have a drink with anyone, living or dead, who would it be?
Michael Jackson, because I want to know what's up with the hee-hee. Okay, good. Okay, now you can go on. Sorry.
Okay.
I didn't mean to be mean. I'm so sorry.
Oh, you're not mean at all. Do you have a favorite quote or mantra that you live by?
Yeah.
What would that be? That was my follow-up question.
Fuck bitches get money.
Hell yeah. All right. What's something no one knows about you?
Ooh, damn. I'm very public with myself. Shit. Wait though. Give me a minute. Let me think about the things. Shit.
Your mom?
That's lame. It's not interesting.
What's...
I played field hockey once upon a time.
Nice. I didn't know that.
I was really good at it, actually. My coach wanted me to go to college coaching, not the coaching part. The
playing in college.
I could see you as like a Regina George, just fucking bitches up. What's your biggest fear in life? Last question.
Disappointing people.
Okay.
That's a dumb question. I already knew the answer to that.
All right. So we have some
rapid fire fucking round.
We got a couple more.
What is your greatest fear, Joseph?
Not living to my full potential.
Oh God.
Yeah.
That's depressing, isn't it?
Yeah. That's a big fear of mine.
Fucking old people, man. They just make us feel bad about ourselves.
Yeah, fuck them. That's why we don't get butterfly tattoos for the old fucks.
You know what?
Amen.
Amen.
Sister.
My mom was yelling at me about my butterfly tattoo. She goes, "What the fuck? You told me you were gonna get your grandma's signature on your hip line." And I go, "Yeah, but how perverted is it when I pull my pants down and it's got my fucking grandma's signature in my hip bone?"
What's her name?
We don't need to be talking about all that.
Okay.
You ain't seeing that shit anyway. So, well, I had originally said to my family, I said, when my grandma dies, I'm going to get my grandma's signature. And I'm going to get done in my hip bone. I didn't realize how perverted that was. I was 16 when I said that shit.
That's filthy.
It's gross. Think about pulling your pants down and your grandma's name is just sitting there.
Bernadette.
Oh, yeah.
Carolyn. It's just sitting there in your panty line. And
a guy's like, what does this mean?
However serious it's getting with your mans, I don't know if it's like a one night stand or if it's like a 5 millionth night stand, and you whip it down and it just says Carolyn. And what the fuck? We don't need all of that. And I told my mom that. I was like, do you realize how fucked up it is for me to get grandma's signature in my panty line?
What if you just got grandma?
That's worse.
What if you got her face down there?
You people are fucked in the head.
All right, we got a couple more questions from some
all right.
of your followers.
Do I believe in soulmates?
Yes. Do you believe in soulmates?
No. Do you want the longer version of that?
Yeah, we'll take the longer version.
All right, shit. You guys are already recording it. Thank you. Brilliant. Okay, no, I don't believe in soulmates. I believe in anything that's just there. Well, someone ding-dong does. Well, that's unfortunate. That kind of fucked up my whole mojo.
You're good. Mojo, we get the mojo
No,
back.
mojo's been fucked.
All right, so we'll move on to the next one. This comes from Tracy, and she says, how do I get the attention of someone I like / how do I get someone to notice me?
Stop paying attention to the person and just like flagrantly shake your ass in front of them. In like a non-shaking your ass way. That's a metaphor.
Strut your stuff.
No, like strut your stuff. Like anything that they're involved in, like let's say that they're super involved in like Stuco and whatever, you need to become the ultimate Stuco person. Like just become the best at whatever it is that they're interested in. Or just even become involved in whatever they're interested in. Like, it's just really not that complicated. You become involved in something that they're interested in. They become interested in you because you're interested in something that interests them.
Love that.
It's not freaking rocket science, and everybody wants to make it so difficult. They're like, well, they don't like what I like. And I'm like, well, you know what? Have you ever thought about maybe investigating anything that they enjoy?
Forethought.
It's not rocket science.
Yeah. I do think, though, if you go out of your way to, like, conform to someone else's lifestyle.
No, don't conform, but at least show an interest in what they like.
Yeah, and like you said, it's probably a good way to meet somebody if you do something that...
Something that's, like, converging.
Yeah. How do I get over someone after a breakup? That comes from Timothy in Wisconsin.
So getting over someone is very interesting because it's very different for every single goddamn individual. tree is killing me.
Snap it.
How do I
don't
make it
snap
go
it.
away?
That's fine for now.
I'm sorry. That's fine for now. Okay. I'm sorry. It kept tickling my head.
Oh, you're fine.
Thank you.
ASMR.
No, but okay. No, I mean, wait, what? Please rephrase the question. The tree tipping over blew me over.
So rephrase the question.
Just say it again.
Oh, okay. So Timothy in Wisconsin asks, how do I get over someone after a breakup?
Okay, I got it for you, Timothy. Timothy, to get over someone, you need to meditate a little bit, for one. Meditation is super helpful for a lot of people. It actually does help certain chemicals in your body and your mind to develop that do not happen inorganically. Like if you take medications and everything, they're trying to supplicate those types of things, but you can actually make those chemicals happen organically within yourself by meditation, by taking time for yourself. All of those chemicals are going to happen organically. If that bitch doesn't fucking like you, I don't know what the fuck to tell you.
That was
Love
amazing.
that. Yeah, thank you. You sound like Oprah. Okay. How do I get back at someone who did me dirty? And I'll add to that.
Okay.
Should you try to get back at someone who did you dirty?
No,
'Cause
I
don't
really
think so.
that like there's a simultaneous play with this. I think that like you need to question yourself. Do we need to do that? Do we actually need to do that?
It's up for debate.
If we don't, if it's up for debate, that's a side thing. But we need to meditate on it. We need to.
Woosah.
Steve, you seem very calm.
I'm very calm. Yeah. Despite our guest.
But here's the thing.
I'm just being honest.
What about me?
No, you're very excitable. And you got me in a heightened state, but I'm still remaining calm because I'm breathing, meditating.
You do be breathing and things.
You see, I'm scared of any chick that has hoop earrings too.
Oh shit, and ball sack. I got all the.
You definitely have a blade on you.
I got a blade.
St. Louis.
Yeah.
Period. ASMR.
Where can we find Peyton, Steve?
Well, we got one more question that Joe likes to ask.
No, I know. I want another question. No, stop. I feel like this is actually so much fucking fun. I know it's fucking fun for you.
Oh, we
too.
having a blast.
So if you could have one law in the world, what law would it be and why?
Well, I feel like that's rude. 'Cause that's positioning me to say something semi-political.
No,
But
no,
law
non-political.
In general would be for people to just like be hot.
I love that.
That's probably the best
No, I'm gonna
law.
get canceled for that.
But if
I'm tired.
if everyone's hot, then is anyone hot?
Oh,
You know what,
it's true.
other Joe? You need to stop.
You don't even know my name. It's actually Peyton.
Steven.
No, it's Peyton.
Oh, she got
P-A-T.
I hate it.
Why do you hate it?
Because you're other Joe.
Okay. Where can people find you online if they want to
Why do they
check
want
out
to
your old
find me?
haircuts? And
That's fucking rude. You can find my other haircuts on Tumblr.
did you have like a very angsty Tumblr page back in the day?
Fucking no, but everybody else did for me.
Love
Can
that.
everybody just like, no, we need to redirect to the page where I look very fucking attractive, and that is here on this podcast.
Oh, we're gonna give you all the clips.
Oh yeah.
Look at that lighting.
Look at that goddamn jawline.
Wait, do some poses. Do catwalk.
Bitch, there's no fucking room for this shit.
Do Vogue. Do Chanel. Do Gucci. Saint Laurent. Steve, I like it.
Talking to me. Or her? Oh. Well, you can find us on Instagram at First Rounds on Joe, at Steve Rossiter _ or at other Joe _, and most importantly at First Rounds on me. Thank you to producer Dr. Self Tapes, Joel and Joseph. Thank you to editor Joey.
Dr. Self Tapes.
Dr. Self Tapes.
Dr. Self Tapes.
You guys have to use that now.
I look so goddamn good in this shit.
Yeah, you
Where
do.
the fuck do I do this shit? How do I make myself look like that?
Oh, we're gonna send it to you.
Fucking time.
We're gonna send it to you.
If you made it-
like all the time. Like, why do I look that nice all the time?
That's you.
No, I know I look like that, but like, shit.
Damn, girl. If you made it this far,
Is that a filter?
thank you so much for watching
Is it me?
or listening.
Really?
We'll see you next time. For now, check out one of our past episodes.
Hi.